Hello, my name is Sanne. I'm from the Norwegian GeoGebra Institute, and what I would like to talk about today is the Nordic and Baltic GeoGebra network. I want to just tell you about this, and hopefully it could inspire some of you to do something similar in your region. So what's this? As you may know, the Nordics, it's far north. It's Iceland, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and Finland, what we traditionally call the Nordics. And then the Baltics are Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. We are a region with a lot of similarities, like the Vikings 1,000 years ago. They traveled and spread their genes and culture. And these are kind of, for historical reasons, there's been a lot of contact over the seas here. And actually, in the Nordics, back to the 1950s, there have been a lot of collaborations in the Nordics. For instance, long before this Schengen agreement, it was possible since the 1950s to travel without showing your passport in between Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Iceland. So there's been a lot of collaboration for a long time. In this region, it's about 33 million people living here. So even if each country is quite small, it's a lot of people together. So what's the purpose of the Nordic GeoGebra network? It's kind of the same purpose as for the National GeoGebra Institute, kind of. It's like learning opportunities and collaboration for researchers and teachers at all levels. It's important for us to include the school teachers, not only for academics and university people. We want to share ideas and results, and we wanted to have a network that could promote innovative and improved mathematics teaching and learning with the use of ICT. So how does this start? Actually, it started when back in 2008, when I and some colleagues, we started one of the very first GeoGebra institutes in the world, in Norway. We were lucky getting some funding, and we attended this first International GeoGebra Institute meeting in Cambridge in May 2008. And there I met Frøya Reinsdotter from Iceland, and I met some people from Spain and from all over, and we get a lot of inspiration for that. And as a result, in February next year, we invited some friends and colleagues from especially from Denmark, but also from Sweden attended, and a lot of. And this is kind of in the early days of GeoGebra in Norway, so we invited a lot of teachers, educators from the community colleges and from universities all over the country to a gathering in Trondheim at my university. And this was kind of and you may see here Skjold Lavitsa is one of these GeoGebra International Institute representatives. He attended this and promoted the whole thing. As you may know, he's very good at that. And then the next year, Frøya from Iceland and I and some more people, we attended this very first International GeoGebra conference in Hagenberg, here by Linz. And we experienced then, Frøya and I, we were in charge of one of these working groups that I had in these parallel sessions, and we had a lot of struggle with to make this productive, because it was people from all over the world, a lot of language difficulties, and we even had some cultural kind of obstacles. People were a bit too different. It's nice to meet different people, but we're struggling a bit with this. So on our flight back to the Nordics, we having a cup of coffee in the plane, and we should do something more regional, to have our own thing in addition to this international. So we decided to have a meeting, and Nico, the photographer that just left the room, he showed up with me and Dane, and we had the connection with Freya, and we had this meeting in Copenhagen in February, and we wrote an application to what's called Nordic. As I mentioned, this Nordic Council, back to the 1950s, they have now extended with the Baltics after the communist era. The Baltics was invited into this collaboration, and they have grants, and we applied for one of these grants to do this collaboration thing, and we got it. So we got the first grant, and it was 86,000 euros, so it's a lot of money. So what will we do with this money, and what have we done? This is just about Nordplus. We wanted to have conferences, because as you may see in the map, it's not 33 million people, but it's long distances. So we needed to have some support for the traveling. Like going to Iceland, that's not for free. So we spent most of this money we spent on kind of traveling, to have meetings, actually to build a network like this. We need to meet each other. So this is from the very first conference. We invited Marcus, the Reykjavik. He's happy to be there. And I will show you just a lot of pictures, just to have briefly what have we done. We had this very first conference in Reykjavik, and then in between these yearly conferences, we had in this first period, 3-year period, we had network seminars. Like the people, the core group in the network are the people connected to the different GeoGebra institutes in the different countries. And in this first period, it was important for us to get to know each other even better. So we have these seminars where we plan the next conference, we do these kind of things. So we have conferences all over the region, like in Vilnius, another meeting in Marstrand in Sweden, then in Estonia, and then we have a new meeting in Copenhagen, and then we need more money for the next period, so we wrote a new application, and we got a new grant. We had a conference in Copenhagen. Here you see the next grant that we got, another 70,000 euro from this Norcross system. And then we decided to change kind of the structure. We still wanted to have the conferences. We could invite teachers from and support teachers for traveling to the conferences, one conference each year. But now we wanted not to have these network meetings in between. We didn't have the need for that anymore, because now we knew each other. So we wanted to have these intermediate meetings, more orientated by doing some actual work to produce something. So we decided to have what we call key topic groups. So we decided on different key topics that we wanted to do. For like starting out in one conference, we defined this topic, sat down, invited people who were interested, and then this group gets some support to have a meeting and to work and to actually produce something at the back end. And then present that in the next conference. So this is from the very first key topic group seminar in Reykjavik in 2014, and I may show you like one of the results from this. Bea Kristinsdotter, she presented this like just in the other room, like 15 minutes ago. And this is from some paper that she made. They were working on this silent screencast. So if you want to know more about that, you may talk to her. So this is actually one of the results kind of coming out of these collaborations. Let's see. Some more conferences, as you say, and then next key topic group seminar. Then the next one, it was development and use of resources, and you may see Jonas presented here just before me. And this group, they made something called oh, I can't find it, but they made what they called the GeoGebra cookbook. Actually, a collection of materials from teachers in classrooms at different levels in the Nordics. It's publicly, so you could, if you try to find a GeoGebra, I can recommend that. It's actually a product from this group. And then, what's more? Yeah, more conferences, as you see. Yeah, here. No, I'm sorry. The cookbook is from the Riga, so you may find a link here. And then last autumn, in September, in my hometown in Trondheim, it was kind of the end of this granted project period, the second one. So then we decided that, okay, now we have this network. It's not a project anymore, it's up and running. It's more like for, if we think it will sustain. But now we have this and we can just continue our work. So we decided not to apply for this the next 3-year period. We decided to just we try to continue these conferences, yearly conferences, by that some of us take an initiative and just apply for funding for one conference at a time. And people in Iceland, they did that, and actually they got money for that as well, from the same source. That's quite impressive that this source really won't support us for the third time. We didn't really believe that, but they did. And so the next conference will be in Reykjavik in October this year. And of course you're very welcome to join us. And this year there will be a special focus on the use of GeoGebra with the migrant students. As you probably have all over Europe, you have a lot of migrants in space, and you have these language issues teaching in school. So, and of course I want to thank Nico for all the pictures. I promised him, I don't pay him, but I promised him to show his pictures. So this is about what I plan to say, but if you have questions, I would be happy to have that. So my main intention of talking about this is like telling what I've done, and then hopefully it will inspire some of you to do something similar in your region. My experience is that when you work with people that you know a bit and that are similar to yourself, I know it makes a lot of things much easier. You can do a lot of things quite easily without having to struggle too much. So that's yeah, it's quite obvious actually. Please do something similar. Yeah.
So are there any questions? Comments?
I suppose just from a structure of your organization, because even the idea of an institute is hazy to me. I'm not familiar with it, but this is a network, it's sort of a network of institutes, or is it a network of individuals?
Yeah, it started out formally as a network of institutes because it's more easy to get a grant then, kind of. But it turned out to be like these institutes have changed a bit during the years. Some places there may not be as vivid as it was when this started, and so more is more like a network of individuals. But of course, when we apply for money like this, we don't do this as individuals. Then it's kind of, I'm beginning to be as an individual working in the Department of Teacher Education at my university, and then my university is a partner in this. kind of. And then Mikko is a partner, but it's not Mikko, it's his school. So he go to his principal and yeah. So, but of course the core is this, it's a group of people that know each other and want to work together. So it's as easy as that. Make it easy.
How effective do you think this has been as a means of sort of pushing GeoGebra understanding to the math teachers?
I think it's lots of I mean, like in Denmark and Norway especially, we got a lot of help from the national curriculums. Because when we started this, it was in the same time there were changes in the national curriculums, and this with a focus on ICT. So to run this GeoGebra Institute in Norway, for instance, it was a very good timing. That's why we get funding, and we had got a drive from that. But then for people like in the Baltics, they didn't have this same